Yard. 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 Yard.
Well, hi, I'm Joel. This is Mike, and we're at the plot here at the backyard of J&L, and we're getting close. Well, actually, we had frost this morning, Mike.
Yeah, had some frost. What is it? The 14th of September today, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So pretty close to a full moon. So, and I came to work this morning. I didn't have any, but the guy said they had some frost in the pickup. So pretty light frost. It's not going to hurt much.
Yep.
We're standing in front of our bean plot, and we're getting some big changes going on right now. As you can see, this is the C9, this C905. That's the earliest bean we have in the lineup. They're basically done.
They'd be ready to harvest if we just had a field of those. They're a very early maturing bean.
Yes, and they're definitely they're ready to go. Here is the 0404s. Very good bean, a very popular bean. You can see the differences going on between the C905s and the 0404s. It's a bit better, bushel, better yielding bean, a little bit standing straight up more. Then as you see the maturities, the 0747, and Mike, you can take that one and go from there.
And just as we come down this way across the plot, as the first two numbers get bigger, it just means it's a later maturing bean, and we'll just keep panning over. We got 207 maturities, which are similar. And we get into these 1.2s. We're getting into beans that are kind of on the upper edge for the area we live in here, you know, around Perham and where we do business. But we just thought today it'd be interesting for those of you who don't do this every day to see how they're maturing different. As you're driving around, you know, in the rural areas, you may see this, and we just got a wide variety of maturities we sell, and these are all beans we sell.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of neat to have the plot right here.
And this is right in the city of Perham, so for those of you from Perham, come over to what street is it, Joe?
It's 9th Avenue Northeast.
Avenue.
Yep, and it's right next to the highway. We put this plot in for two reasons, basically for training purposes, and for our own employees and for ourselves, and for farmers. We had a plot day here a while back, a week ago. 29th.
Yeah, week and a half ago, something like that.
Had over 100 people here. It was a great time. I think we all learned something too.
Yeah, and just come on by if you live in an urban area and you want to walk through a plot. It's open to the public. So
it's kind of neat. We've even had the wildlife. Of course, we had some deer in here. We are right in the outskirts of the city limits here, and we've had deer walking in one morning, eating the tops off of the soybeans and things like that. So it's it's pretty close to real. I mean, it's as real as it gets. So yeah, a lot of fun. Well, now we're standing in front of the corn plot, and as you can see, fall is here. We got corns that are, the actual husk is starting to open up, and the cobs are starting to drop down. It's a great time of year. I spent a lot of time in cornfields the last few weeks here, Mike. I know you have too.
Yep. And for those of you who maybe didn't believe us when Joe mentioned the deer, here's some evidence they're eating it right off the plant right now in city limits of Perham.
Yeah, early in the morning.
So it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been real interesting to have this education plot again right here in town, right between our store and our seed plant, just to watch how it develops and have it firsthand. We've got 10, 12, something like that varieties. I could have counted them. A couple of different companies we represent. And again, different maturities. It's not as obvious to see that if you drive by and look at it. But we go from some fairly early corn for our area to some stuff that gets to be rather late, but we use it for corn silage, so it's a proper maturing corn for this area.
Yeah, and it works out real well. Again, we use it for training, but we're already down to 79 day, all the way up with some artesians as well. Artesian meaning that it grows under, it'll produce corn with a lot less water. But all the way up to 102 day, 103 day corn silage, and you can even use it for grain hybrid a lot of times. But it's just a really good hands-on for us. We're able to watch it. We're able to see the pollination. We're able to see the silk. Now we're seeing that any kind of diseases that's setting in. This plot doesn't have any, but there has been a lot out in the country. A lot of northern blight, corn, some anthracnose, some of the Fusarian rot, stalk rot.
Stalk and root rot.
There's a lot of stuff happening because it's been so wet.
All the moisture.
It's been so wet, and but thank gosh it isn't. It's coming late in the season, and not early. So.
Yeah, something I find interesting, and people that don't work with it every day with corn, if you go back into the 40s, you know, if you had 45 bushel corn, you had a fantastic crop.
Yeah.
And due to advancements and plant breeders and selecting parents to change the genetics, you know, that this year we're going to see a lot of corn in that high 100 bushels and some 200 bushel corn.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so just think of that when you don't work with it every day. That, you know, 60 some years ago, 70 years ago, 45 bushels was kind of the average.
That was a big crop.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And 25 years ago, 100 bushels was a big deal. And now 200 bushels is a good deal. It's not necessarily a big deal, but that's really good.
The expectation is 100 to 150 bushel. That's anything less than that is almost a failure.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of guys are pushing for that 150, 200 bushels this year, and it's real realistic.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and there's some challenging times with some of the economies going on in agriculture, but that's cyclical, and we've came off of good times into tough times, and it will be good again.
Yeah, whatever goes up comes down. That's one thing that we've come to recognize and realize, that whatever goes up, it's going to come down, and that's just the way it is. And you got to be able to be in it for the long run. So
yeah, stop by, look at the corn, look at the beans. Don't take too much for your squirrels at home, because we're feeding the deer here. We got to keep them happy.
Thanks a lot.
See you at the backyard.
Any questions, come in the backyard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yard. 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 Yard.